Hey guys, Ashley here for Real Buyer Agency and John and Scott Bothell. Here with the January monthly market update of the residential real estate markets of King and Snohomish counties, Washington. In these videos, we'll primarily look at the market statistics and contributing data that ran through the month of December, briefly looking at national mortgage rates before moving on to look specifically at the local data that was sourced directly from the Northwest MLS public releases. In these videos, we try to take the approach of breaking down a few charts in detail before finally providing a summary at the end. If you are just looking to get a quick lowdown on one specific market aspect or a summary of the current market as a whole, please feel free to skip ahead to the relevant section. Depending on which platform you're watching this on, you can find detailed chapters and timestamps provided on the video timeline and in the description below. Okay then, with our first market update of the year ready to go, let's get started.
Okay, starting off like normal with the 30-year fixed mortgage rates, weekly averages provided by Freddie Mac. For the month of December, we started off at 2.71%. It stayed at that level of 2.71% through the weekend in December 10th. Then for the weekend in December 17th, we dropped to 2.67%. Fractionally down just 1 basis point the weekend in December 24th to 2.66. And then we came back up for the very end of the year, the weekend in December 31st, back up a basis point to 2.67%. In the first week of January, the weekend in January the 3rd, which is the last date on this chart, we came down to 2.65%. Since then, though, I should say that we've actually over the last couple of weeks spiked up quite substantially, at least comparatively, to the high 2.7s for 30-year fixed rates, as a result of anticipated changes and real changes in the bond market. Most economists are projecting that those rates will continue to rise slightly throughout the year. And so maybe we have finally at this point seen the bottoming out of the very lowest rates, at least for a while here, at the all-time low rate of 2.65 the weekend in January the 3rd. Okay, moving on to the local data. Newly active listings. For the month of December, King County had 1,793 newly active listings, and Snohomish County had 806 newly active listings. In King County, that means a month-to-month adjustment of minus 22.21%, and in Snohomish County, that means a month-to-month adjustment of minus 10.84%. When we compare this December versus December last year, we can see that in King County, newly active listings are actually up by a massive 61.97%, while in comparison, Snohomish County also up 31.91%, which is also sizable. Total active listings. And in the month of December, King County had 1,949 total active listings, and Snohomish County had a measly 373 total active listings on the market at the end of the month. In King County, this means a month-to-month adjustment of minus 32.02% approximately to 2 decimal places. And in Snohomish County, that means a month-to-month adjustment of minus 29.22%, again to 2 decimal places. When we compare this December versus December of 2019, we can see that in King County, total active listings are actually down by 13.76%. And in comparison, Snohomish County was down versus December 2019, approximately 62.92%. So literally, Snohomish County ended December 2020 with only a little more than a third of the total active inventory that it ended December 2019 with. Quickly, let's take a look at how that ties in with pending sales rates and then subsequently months of inventory. For the month of December, there were 2,351 total pending sales in King County, and Snohomish County had 1,018. Total pending sales here account for the properties that went pending during the month, non-inclusive of pendings that run over from previous months, and with any property that may have gone pending more than once during the month only being counted that one time. In King County, this means there was a month-to-month decrease in pending sales of approximately 17.39%, so minus 17.39% month to month. And in Snohomish County, there was a month to month adjustment of approximately minus 21.15%. in both cases to 2 decimal places. Of course, this is pretty much what we expect to see at this time of year. For December, for the holidays, we'd always expect a month-to-month contraction in pending sales and general market activity. When we compare the pending sales for December 2020 versus December 2019, what we see is that in King County, pending sales were actually up by 23.87% approximately, and in Snohomish County, it was much flatter. We were actually up in terms of pendings only 3.14%. So King County seeing quite a big uptick year to year in terms of pending sales for the month of December. So when we think about these pending sales numbers going up by any substantial amount in any single month, immediately that might send alarm bells just on the basis that we had inventory so low in both counties, particularly in Snohomish County. And obviously if pending sales are going up, if there's more activity in the month on the buyer side, we might think, okay, that's going to drive down inventory even further and exacerbate our short inventory situation even more, and probably result in even higher closing sales prices and appreciation in the months ahead. So I think in this case, we want to be wary of jumping to that conclusion because, as we just saw a few moments ago, the newly active listings data for the month of December shows increases outpacing these increases in pendings for the month of December. So in comparison, King County was up, like I said, 61.97% in the month of December versus December 2019, and Snohomish was up 31.91%. So on that side of the equation, the newly active listings increase for this time of year substantially outpaces the increase in activity. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out through January and February. But even though we're seeing more pendings, it's just important to recognize that doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to see the inventory be driven lower. Although, starting from this base, it's still going to be heavily a seller's market, whatever happens for the foreseeable future. But we might just end up with a more buoyant, active market in general on both sides of the equation. Okay, for context, quickly switching over to the months of inventory chart then. We ended December 2020 with 0.63 months of inventory in King County. And in Snohomish County, we ended the month with 0.26. So in King County's case, that means approximately 2.5 weeks. And in Snohomish County, that means approximately 7 to 10 days of inventory left on the market. These numbers represent how long the current active inventory would be expected to last before completely being exhausted were no more new listings to be brought to market. Obviously, excluding extreme circumstances, new listings to market are always going to happen, so it is kind of a theoretical number in that sense, but a pretty useful tool for looking comparatively. Switching over to our price charts, this is our median listings price chart. For the month of December, King County's median listing price was $699,500, and Snohomish County's median listing price came in at $600,000. In King County, that means a month-to-month adjustment of about 0.21%. So again, since we're dealing with median listing data, pretty much nothing. Just consider that a flat. And in Snohomish County, that means a month-to-month adjustment of about 5.26%. So on the listing price side, Snohomish County actually did have a slight increase month to month. When we compare these median listing prices versus the listing prices of December 2019, we see that King County's median listing price was actually down fractionally by about 2.02%. Seems like a little bit of a surprise. And in comparison, Snohomish County's was up by about 5.45%. So that month-to-month adjustment pretty similar to the year-to-year adjustment. Of course, this is just telling us listing prices. We should switch over to the all-important median closing sales prices to get a sense of how the market actually reacted. Finally then, moving over to the median closing sales prices. For the month of December, King County's median closing sales price was $676,000, and Snohomish County's was $535,000. In King County, this meant a month-to-month decrease of approximately 1.31% to 2 decimal places. And in Snohomish County, this meant a month-to-month adjustment of approximately minus 0.65%. So fractionally down in King County possibly relevant. In Snohomish County at minus 0.65%. Can't really tell us much there from median data. So that's pretty much, we just interpret that as kind of a flat. While under normal conditions, we would expect through December to see lower inventory and just generally lower activity with the holidays month to month. I did check to see whether or not this also traditionally affected our price points in December for closing prices, if they also maybe trend downwards or normally trended upwards as a result of these variances. And there seems to be, from the data I've looked going back the last 4 to 5 years, in neither county is there any clear correlation for closing prices decreasing in this environment fractionally or increasing. So any decrease in median closing sales prices here cannot be just battered away on that basis. When we compare the median closing sales prices of this past December with those of December 2019, we see that in King County, the median sales price was actually up approximately 9.92% to 2 decimal places. And in comparison, Snohomish County was actually up by about 8.08% to 2 decimal places. In both cases, at this point, we're a little bit off the highs of September. As you can see on this chart, in King County, in September, we got up to $698,000. That was the high median closing sales price for the year. And in Snohomish, we got up to a high of $550,000 also in September. That was the high of the year. So we've come off those highs fractionally, but only slightly, as you can see. $22,000 in King County, otherwise expressed as a decrease of approximately 3.18%. And in Snohomish County, we've come down $15,000. So minus 2.73% from that September high.
So in summary, the market in December 2020 continued along predominantly the same trajectory as it had through October and November, with perhaps a couple of small surprises. National mortgage rates continued tracking lower, with Freddie Mac's average 30-year fixed rate reported as coming down about 4 basis points during the month, starting the month at a weekly average of 2.71% and ending the month at a weekly average of 2.67%. This was yet another all-time low, with all-time mortgage rate lows having been set and reset pretty consistently since last spring. Total active listings continued to fall by a sizable percentage month to month. In King County, falling by a little over 32%, and in Snohomish County, falling by over 29%. This meant that we ended December in King County down approximately 13.76% from that of December 2019. And in Snohomish County versus December 2019, there was a reduction of approximately 62.92%. We ended this past December with just 373 total active listings on the market in Snohomish, which represents approximately 0.26 months of inventory. Put another way, 7 to 10 days worth of active housing stock if no more listings were to come to market. Despite this continued tightening of the marketplace in terms of total available listings, there were still some positive signs for potential buyers. While newly active listings were down in the month of December versus November 2020, as we might expect in line with seasonal norms, versus 2019, newly active listings in December were up sizably, up a solid 31.97% in Snohomish County and a massive 61.97% in King County. These increases year over year in the rate of new inventory coming to market for the month of December sizably outpaced the comparative uptick in the pending sales rates. If this trend continues, we should begin to see total active inventory numbers finally start increasing again within the next couple of months. And while this market will still be considered heavily a seller's market with plenty of competition amongst buyers, it may at least not be quite as hyper-competitive as it has been over these last few months. As such, we can anticipate were any adjustments in fixed rate mortgages to be largely limited over the next few months and without any overwhelmingly large surge of would-be buyers into the marketplace. Closing sales prices across both King and Snohomish County for the next few months should flatline at around their current levels, or perhaps even drop off fractionally. This past December, in fact, already saw a flatlining of closing sales prices across both counties, with King County's median sales price coming down approximately 1.31% month to month to $676,000. And Snohomish County is coming down approximately 0.65% to $535,000. This pattern wasn't particularly a surprise in King County, but was to a fair extent in Snohomish County, running clearly against our December market update projections that closing prices in Snohomish would likely increase by the end of the month. So I guess we got that one wrong, and for that, I do apologize. Okay guys, that does it for the January 2021 market update. Please hit the like button if you found this video useful and subscribe to the page or the channel. Feel free to engage or post any questions you may have in the comment section below. And otherwise, I hope this finds you well, that you're having a positive start to the new year. Please be sure to stay safe out there. And until next time, have a great one.